Hi, and welcome to the Jeff Couret podcast. Today's guest is Austin. Austin Pace, I believe, is your name, correct?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So I'm going to let Austin introduce himself because he's done some awesome stuff on TikTok. So without further ado, Austin, welcome.
Yeah, what's up, guys? First off, I'm excited to be on this podcast because I've been following the man Jeff for a while since I really got on TikTok. And, basically what I do is I live in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri area. I think will be more familiar to most people. But I am a personal trainer, and I train general populations, but the majority of my clients are athletes. Maybe some names that you might know of is I train Drew Lock, who's the Broncos quarterback, and I train Jeremiah Robinson, Earl Robinson, who is going to be a lottery pick in the NBA next year, but he plays for Villanova. So those are a couple of big athletes, but I train athletes, and I'm in the process right now of opening up my own training facility under my brand, AMP Athletics. Started this brand all on Instagram, doing online training my sophomore year in college. That was like 3 years ago. Now I've been out of college 1 year and just continuing this grind, man. I'm always been posting on social media everywhere, and I understand its importance for growing personal brand.
All right. So people here are listening and they're hearing your story. It sounds interesting, but what they really want to know, let's talk about how many followers you have and some of your most viral video successes.
Yeah. So right now I think I just passed 350,000. And it's funny, dude. Like I huge follower of Gary Vee, right? So, I understand his tactics and his mental strategy. So like I said, 4 years ago is when I started on Instagram posting content, and I've done YouTube here and there. I've done podcasts here and there. I've done Instagram, but I was never good on the timing of trying to grow on Instagram and YouTube. I was growing, but it wasn't at a rate that I've seen people grow at who got to those platforms earlier than me. So it was funny with TikTok. My sister showed me the app like last October, almost a year ago. And, it was crazy how many people and entrepreneurs I knew just blew it off completely. And it was, at first I did the same thing, but I was actually on another podcast and I called it, I wish I could find the clip, but what I said is, I'm going to blow up on TikTok. Here is why. What I did when I saw a TikTok, I went to the hashtags. I typed in hashtag bicep curl, hashtag personal trainer, all the hashtags I was using on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking that it had millions of views, and I was looking at the content. I was like, damn, these trainers suck.
Yeah.
I was like, literally, it was like my fifth post maybe. I did a 15-second bicep tutorial. I thought it was a shitty video, but I thought the explanation was good. But I thought it could have been better, and it got over 5 million views. And at that point it clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going all in with TikTok. And I was really like, you look up a lot of hashtags. I know it kind of deranks you, but I had all the hashtags at first, and then I see a lot of other fitness dudes on there now. But for me, it was just a timing thing. I understood algorithms enough to know that hashtags do have leverage, and I just pounced on the opportunity to be first.
Cool. So you were on Instagram and kind of struggling, and you decided just to give TikTok a go. Were you hearing Gary Vaynerchuk kind of saying TikTok? Is that a big part of it, or?
Yeah, it was, but it was more so like I don't watch Gary Vee like to the point every day. Like I literally kind of more see what he does. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to like kind of implement that. Because I think a lot of people will like consume Gary Vee so much that it's just overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw him starting to use TikTok. I was like, well, if he's using it, I need to look in and see what the hype is about. And I was just, like I said, looking at the hashtags and stuff. And I just like, I called it on that. And it came to fruition. And at that moment, I was like, wow, I actually, timing is one of those things that you can kind of control, but kind of can't.
Yeah.
And I just hit perfect timing because I think it's definitely harder. It would be harder for me to grow as fast as I did if I started now than I did.
Absolutely. And I had a very similar start with TikTok where I was blowing it off. My kids were actually on there, and I was like, I had posted a couple videos, but it wasn't until about October, just like you, maybe November. I think it was actually October where I started posting with any sort of consistency. And just like you, I was looking through the hashtags. I was like, man, a lot of this content is terrible, especially in the digital marketing space. I mean, it was like literally nobody from the US, not to say people from India and stuff like that can't have really great videos, and some of them did, but I was like, dude, there's really nobody from the US, at least really attacking this from the way that I would, or the way that anybody else would on like on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. So I did see a massive opportunity to be the first person
What
to really
what
talk
was awesome is
marketing.
like, I was like, dude, posts are so easy to make on TikTok.
Right.
Like I was
Right.
spending way less time filming, editing, structuring a post than I was on Instagram and YouTube. And it was just a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And my Instagram started growing, my YouTube started growing. And like I kind of almost there's a term that you might know what I'm saying. It's like you create Gary's used it. You create content on one, like podcast is a great way to do it. You have a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
now you got content you can put
Yep.
everywhere. I kind of do that with TikTok. Like I take my TikTok post, I'm putting it on Reels, Instagram Reels, which I've actually gotten a lot more engagement on my Reels than other posts, but I've just been using my TikTok post.
Yeah.
And just using that, like I don't
Are you
know.
getting more Reels views than you are on TikTok for the same video, or no?
No, not comparable, but I get more views on my Reels than I do if I just upload it to my feed on Instagram.
Because I talked to somebody earlier today who said they're getting more views when they repost their TikToks to Reels. They're actually getting more views on Reels. I was like, oh, first person to
Yeah,
tell me that.
that
Interesting.
hasn't happened to me, but
Yeah. But he has a very small account, so
yeah,
interesting. Maybe it's a little bit faster on the early days over there, but
yeah,
interesting nonetheless.
it's crazy, dude. Like the algorithm, like you can't get. I was even thinking about the algorithm when I was posting on TikTok, and I was always thinking about the algorithm on Instagram. I really was, but I think maybe it was just experience because I had been posting content for like 4 years till I finally blew up on TikTok. So like, anyone who really who knows me in person, like knows that I've been doing this for so long, and they'd always say, "I'll just keep doing it. Your time will come." And I was always consistent, but like still to this, like still when I post now, I think a lot of people get caught up in the algorithm trying to figure out what's best. I think it's good, but like I've really been able to just understand what is going to do good just based off of what I am teaching or how engaging is it, how funny it is.
Yeah.
But I've had videos, like you said, go viral of all different time frames,
Yeah.
different structures. So it's made me just not want to overanalyze the perfect video.
I think that's the cool thing about TikTok is the algorithm. You kind of don't need to worry about it so much as long as you're getting people to watch the end of the video on
Yeah.
average, or a little bit longer, maybe even getting some rewatches in there. I mean, everything else about the algorithm kind of goes away, whether it's hashtags, whether it's the time of day you post. I've had so many videos go viral with no hashtags. I've had so many videos go viral that I post in the middle of the night when my analytics say I shouldn't even be messing around with TikTok. So it's just like, as long as you get that awesome watch time, it just seems like that's the key. So, and it sounds like you figured that out. And it seems like anybody with half a brain should be able to know, like, if your video is engaging and keeps people watching, um, you're probably going to have success, you know?
Yeah, and here's a funny analogy that someone told me. It's like the best Fortnite players and the best NBA 2K, they play 2K. The best players are the one who literally can read the mind of the defense or the guy they're trying to shoot. Like they know exactly what they're going to do and understand that. So like to me, if I can really put my mind in as someone who's scrolling through TikTok and I look at
Yeah.
a post I just made and think, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Is this something I'm going to watch again? Is this something I'm going to share? Am I
Yeah.
going to like? Because I am essentially my own audience, my own niche. So I think of myself as when I make a video, okay, is this going to do well? More times than not, I can predict if a video is going to do well for myself when I post it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, getting used to uploading videos and like, okay, well, based on previous data, every time I've used this sort of hook, it keeps people watching. Every time I've done this kind of video, like for me, I know pretty much every time I talk about Charlie D'Amelio, the post tends to do pretty well with a decent chance of going viral.
Yeah.
I know a certain other type of content I post tends to flop. So I although I'm giving good value, I tend to do less of that. Although arguably maybe I shouldn't, but like, we do tend to kind of gravitate toward what gives us the most views. And that's why I tell people post a lot, because you're going to fail often. You're also going to learn often. It's just gonna rapidly teach you just
Mm-hmm.
based on your own experience,
Now, here's my question for you, because I see a lot of people in your niche, and I think you've suggested as well as reposting your most viral videos. And I've seen that a lot of people have had success with it. That is one thing that I have not had success with is
Okay.
reposting viral videos. It's never gotten even a fraction of the views that they did the first time, and I don't understand that.
What I tend to tell people when they're in your situation is you're not necessarily comparing the views with that first video with the viral version that you uploaded. what I would compare is with your average, with your baseline. So if you're averaging, 4 or 5,000 views, maybe you repost it and it gets 5.5K or 6K. Well, to me, that's a success because it's slightly above average. Maybe it's nowhere near the virality of the original. Of course, it has the small chance that it might go viral again. But I think when a video goes viral for the first time, you just kind of got that magic moment where that's just what TikTok needed or wanted to see at the time. And
Mhm.
then, as you probably noticed, once your video goes viral on TikTok, all kind of people copy it and they do it to death. And then it's like no longer a cool thing or an interesting thing to TikTok as an audience. So for
Mhm.
that reason, sometimes it's hard for a video to go viral twice. But still, I think you can almost always expect at least average to a slightly above average performance for a repost. And for that reason, I do recommend doing it. However, I have slowed down with doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just have. Maybe
I
I
think
should get back to it. But
they forget that you're a creator. If you should consider yourself a creator. So you're telling me that you had a viral video, you can't just recreate the same message in a different way. Like I do that a
yeah,
lot. Like
right.
I find myself having, or there's videos that had a certain topic or something. I'll literally have the same value, same
Yeah.
message, and do it in a different way. And those tend to do well.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that instead of reposting or along with reposting, just take whatever's trending and apply it to that message. So if your message is you should be using this sort of form on a bicep curl,
Mhm.
um, you said it one way, maybe you said it in the trend that was 2 months ago, you say it again in today's trend, whatever that trend is. Um,
And I hope
and
this
that's how you
resonates
can deliver it.
because I had to be like, I had to think, like, I'm not the craziest editor. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my thing. Um, I'm not, I use my iPhone. Some people use cameras, but I have had good success with my iPhone. But I think that if like I knew that as a trainer, my strength in person, because I do this in person as well as online, everyone tells me that I'm just really good at taking a complex concept and being able to put it into layman terms and just to be able to explain exercises and things to people. So I kind of looked at that as my advantage. Like, okay, even though everyone else is going to talk about the same exercises, same tutorial, all that stuff, how can I explain it in just a unique way? And I think that goes for any niche. I think that goes for any niche. You can, if maybe your things, explain it in a unique way. And I use comedy a lot too.
Hmm.
You know, if you can use comedy can fall into any niche.
Yeah.
And I think that's really gives you a differentiation, you know, of your vibe and your style.
I like that. I've implemented comedy as well. And I feel like it's a great way to not get burnt out on your TikTok. If you put yourself in that box and you're just doing that type of content that is really successful and it is allowing you to grow really fast, but at the same time you don't like doing it that much, I feel like you can get burnt out. And that's where we see people taking these 2, 3, 4 week breaks. They lose all their momentum. And then before you know it, they're just like not a TikToker anymore. You just don't see them on the For You page because they're more or less done. What I do, I like to do comedy. Sometimes I'll do music. Sometimes I'll do dance, but I'll try to apply it to my niche. Like
Exactly.
I'll crack a joke about, something that's related to my niche in order to teach. At least I'll try to. And sometimes I'll just do whatever I feel like doing, maybe 10% of the time. And that allows me to not feel like I have to have multiple channels and just kind
Yeah.
of get
And
everything
that's,
done. And yeah, I am sacrificing engagement. I feel like I am sacrificing engagement, but at the same time, it allows me to be a lot more consistent and not burned out. So where I don't feel like, oh, I think this
mhm.
stupid thing
I
that I know
was,
is going to get a lot of views, but I hate doing it,
no, I feel that it's nice to be able to be in a position where at least you know that it's not going to get 0 views if you do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
we're at the follower account where we know it's not going to get our average, but you know, if you want to do whatever you can, do it.
And
Uh,
sometimes I do whatever I want and it goes viral. And it's like, well,
yeah,
this
and
is a
you don't
great
know.
feeling, but all these new people are following me and they don't vibe with my regular content. So it's like,
Well, so that's a good point right there because one of my so I've had probably maybe 7 videos get over 1 million views, 7 or 8, and my third video to ever go viral was my engagement video I had put together or my proposal for my engagement, and
okay,
that one has like 12 million views.
wow.
And I mean, I had so many females follow me, and I remember after that I was posting back to my fitness content, and it was getting views around that video. But then like I was looking at my analytics, and I was like, holy cow, I have like 70% females following me now.
Yeah.
But eventually swapped back over because I was
Mhm.
wondering like, I wonder if they're gonna like this content. But it was cool that it went viral, so it was
Yeah,
fun.
for sure. Cool. So let's talk about the early days of TikTok. So you're putting out videos. How long did it take for you to have like a really successful video? Was it like your fifth, your 10th, your 20th post?
I can look, man. I think seriously that bicep video that got like 5 million views was like my between my fifth to 10th post.
Okay, so you had pretty fast success. So most people don't quite like. I think me personally, I don't think I had a successful video until maybe, and I'm talking in the couple thousand views until my 20th to 25th. So that's pretty fast. So what do you feel like you did differently than most when it comes to having quick success here on TikTok?
I really attribute that to just my experience of trying to grow on other apps. Like I think if someone's trying to grow on TikTok and they haven't been trying to grow on any other app for the last 4 years, you can't expect to know how to use social media and how it really works. So like I understood, like I said, I looked at the hashtags, I called
You
it.
saw the opportunity.
Yeah, I called it and I pounced on it, and like I knew it was going to happen. It wasn't a shock to me. It wasn't a shock to me at all. But I think that biggest thing is just consistency, man. Like you cannot. I always say there's two things that will lead you to success, but you got to do them together. It's consistency and improvement. Because I know tons of people who are super consistent, but let's be honest, they may just not have what it takes to be a content creator, or vice versa. Someone has all highest ceiling in the world, but they'll never give themselves a chance because they're just not consistent. At least if you do both, you know you're going to give yourself a chance. And if I look at my content I was posting 2 months ago, it's better because I'm improving.
Mm, cool. All right, so let's talk monetization. So you've got this business, which is personal training, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine a lot of people are reaching out to you, whether it's in comments or DMs, asking you for advice. Are you charging for that, or are you helping them for free? Like what's going on, and how are you making or attempting to make money? I have no idea about what's going on with you there.
Yeah.
So,
So I make about 60% of my living in person, and doing training my athletes and all the stuff I do in person. And I've been doing online training. Like I've monetized my Instagram, for like the last 4 years. And I was shocked of how much TikTok grew that for me. Cause at first I thought it was all kids, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Who weren't willing to pay for high ticket products, but I was wrong. Like I've had a lot of 25+ year olds come from TikTok. Maybe they don't post on TikTok or comment, but they're on there watching videos.
Yeah.
And, they hit me up on Instagram usually. And can I look at your online training packages, this, that. The one thing that TikTok persuaded me to do was come up with a I was thinking like, okay, I want to make something that's residual income for me, something that's lower ticket that could appeal more to the high school athletes because they can't afford my high ticket coaching options. So I made a subscription called Prime Performance where it's not one-on-one coaching, but you're on my mobile training app. You get a new workout program with tutorial videos every single month. And it's just a reoccurring subscription, $20 a month. A lot of
Okay.
them can afford that. And, I built up my email list and built that from TikTok. So that was kind of a good move on my part. And then, recently with the creator fund, that's been happening for me. And I've probably had 3 sponsored posts that reached out to me from the, TikTok marketplace app. And that's really what I wanted to ask you, and besides that, I have my own apparel line. I manufacture. I've done that for a while. And then I'm opening this new gym with a partner. So that's kind of our biggest in person right now. But I wanted to ask you, like,
Sure.
it almost seems too good to be true that TikTok is doing this. Cause like, Instagram failed at it, it seems, or they wanted to. I didn't even see their attempt, but, and then YouTube, like I'm getting my first YouTube check actually, next month,
Nice.
but it's nothing crazy. And when I think about the amount of hours and work that went in to make that amount of money, it's just like, oh my God, it's unreal. Like it's unreal.
Right.
You're working for like 2 cents an hour.
So far.
So far, and it can exponentially grow.
Right.
But TikTok, man, it seems too good to be true. I don't get it. I don't get what the long-term vision of this is. If this is like, I don't know, like how much do you know about all this stuff?
Well, here's a couple thoughts. And first of all, before we get into that, I just want to say congratulations on having a multi-prong approach to monetization. Did y'all hear all the things that he said? He's got a virtual training business. He's got the in-person training business, which believe it or not, I wouldn't be surprised if some TikTok people will come for in-person training if they haven't already. He's got the gym he's opening. He's got all kind of different ways. He's got the apparel. So don't just think about one or two ways. And he's also making money from the TikTok creator fund. So just don't be thinking about just one or two ways you can make money. Think of 5, 6, 7, 8, you know? So I really like
Can I
that.
add something to that real quick?
Yep.
And I think that a lot of people, when they have a service that they sell, they try to create content around giving everything they know. I tell people, you shouldn't have to spend a dime paying me for anything. You should be able to scroll through all my TikToks, scroll
Right.
through everything, and be able to put the pieces together if you spend the time doing it. But, I provide all the methods, all the tools, but you don't get the system. The
Right.
system is kind of what I don't sell. But like, I see people like, oh, why do you tell everything that you know? It's like, because that is the business model that works nowadays with social media,
And like, and I do the same thing. It's like, why do I give away all my best secrets? Well, like Gary Vee says, 99.9% of the people aren't going to do it anyway. So you might as well just give the best secrets you have, and that'll help you stand out because you're actually delivering the most value, and earning people's trust because of that.
People pay for convenience,
Yes. And that's essentially what we're selling. So instead of scrolling through my 1,700 videos, you can hire me for TikTok consulting, and I can just tell you the answer in 5 minutes, as opposed to you spending 5 to 10 hours sifting through my content trying to find your
Exactly.
answer.
Exactly.
And but okay, let's talk about the TikTok creator fund. You're wondering, it kind of feels like it's too good to be true. You're wondering how come Instagram couldn't figure it out. So here's the advantage that TikTok has, in my opinion. The TikTok lives, they actually take 66% of these TikTok live gifts. So I think they're making a ton of money from that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's their number one generator of revenue. So they have all that money. Of course, they have a pretty big team of people who work for TikTok, but that's something. Now, Instagram also has the ads. TikTok has the ads. They just launched it, a couple months ago. But these TikTok live gifts have existed for, I don't know, potentially years since they were Musically. So they've got all the money from that, and so that would be probably where they're able to pull all this money from. They do take kind of a ridiculous percentage. Like when I shared how much I made and how much TikTok took, everybody in the comments is like, I cannot believe they take that much. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And that doesn't tie into the creator fund. Like they're not taking a percent of that. Like
Well, not
the,
not on record, but I would imagine that's probably where most of the funds are coming from.
okay, so you're saying that's how they're paying us. But like, I see this number daily that pops up.
Hmm.
That is what I get, right? They're not taking 66% of that, are
No, no, that's everything's already subtracted, so you just get
they? Gotcha.
what you are shown. So I'm sure they're
Dude, I
making, because
love that.
they're probably already taking their 66, if not more percent, from whatever, however they're calculating the
Yeah.
ads. So yeah, free money. Um,
It's been
so
motivating for me to
yeah,
post. Like it truly, like I've never felt this way with any other platform.
yeah. I think we're potentially, because you're outside. We just had a little hiccup in the connection. I think we're all right. It's only happened twice, but I think we're good. But yeah, I'm totally with you. It's got me rethinking things, because I've noticed on days where I have certain types of content that's more designed for the younger audience to just generate a ton of views. Yeah, that's great, but that CPM, I've noticed, is lower. And for those of you who are new, CPM means like the cost per basically what you get paid per 1,000 views. So on a day where I had like more views than normal, most of those views are from younger kids, and I had like a point oh one CPM. And on days when I had a little bit more older audience, it was almost 50% higher than that. I was like, oh, interesting. So it's got me rethinking my strategy a little bit.
I used your formula and I calculated mine. And the first day it was 0.03. And I thought
Nice.
that was really high. And then
That is pretty
the
high.
last 2 days it's been well, it was 0.02 yesterday, and then today it was 0.018. So
Okay.
like, I don't understand. It's confusing to me.
I would maybe just dig through the post of that day and just try to put the pieces together. Like, what is it about this particular one? And then the other thing I would be looking at is like, all right, what are the ads that might be associated? Like when you're scrolling through the For You page, you know how you see the ad every so many posts. It's like, all right, what are the ads that TikTok is showing me? How competitive does it feel? Are these like really small companies advertising, because typically they don't have much of a budget, or are these bigger companies like
Mhm.
obviously Apple, but like let's just say Gymshark, or like one of the bigger fitness brands, or you know what I mean? You might get some signs of
Yeah.
like higher competition means higher CPM, I think, when we look at these ads. So if you're seeing these really small shady companies, I think that's a bad sign for CPM, and you see bigger companies, I think it's a good sign for CPM.
And here's another question for you. So like over quarantine, like when we were locked down and stuff, I went ham on the TikTok lives. And I got to the point where I was having like 80 plus people on my lives a lot. And I mean, I was doing it multiple times a day. Now I'm literally going live for like 30 minutes, like 2 times a week. I know it's very poor, but like I'm only getting like 20 to 50 people on. And like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the time I'm doing it. And I've also been bad at like figuring out how I don't really, I mean, like it'd be nice to get gifts, but like I don't know what I should be doing to incentivize people to do that.
Um, I've kind of just grown. I haven't really had much of a reduction. Now, I did have a big peak on my number of concurrent viewers when the TikTok ban stuff was happening, because everybody kind of looks to me to be the TikTok guru, the TikTok guy, the news, whatever, the TikTok
Yeah.
professional guy, I guess. And so I had a peak of like 400. Now I've never hit that again, but I don't. Now that things have gone back to normal, maybe I get 100 to 150 on average. Sometimes it dips as low as like 40 or 50. Sometimes it goes higher. But I don't really look at that as a fail. I think the mindset of people just were like thinking about that and what I had to say at the time. For you, I'd probably be looking at things like your title. Like, what are you saying in your title to inspire people to click in and to come check it out?
Yeah.
Like, how can you say, hey, today we're doing this event. The event is, all right, we're going to show you how you can add a 1/4 inch to your biceps in the next, potentially, right? Add a 1/4 inch to your biceps in the next 4 weeks, something like that, like some kind of event where if
Just
people
what's
feel
up
like they're
after.
missing out if they don't come, you
Yeah.
know,
That makes sense.
maybe something like that. And then in terms of getting more gifts, my thing, I actually have an awesome system for this, and I made a whole video about it. But what I do is I give the top 3 gifters something special. For me, that's an account
That's all you
review.
do. Like the
Yeah,
account reviews.
yeah. And then, but only the number 1 gifter gets that account review featured on my main channel, which is something I don't even give my paid consulting clients. So it actually is something very special.
Hmm.
And so you're getting the gifts, and then I'm starting to think about getting off, because either I'm getting tired or I got another meeting coming up. And so I'll set a timer on my Alexa. So I'll say, Alexa, start a timer for 10 minutes. And then that'll also set the timer for anybody who happens to have an Alexa right where they are, because
Gosh,
it'll
that's
hear
amazing.
me. So they're hearing it, but like come the end of that 10-minute timer, you'll actually have a bidding war happen.
Yeah.
And that's when people get crazy. So you have people who they don't donate the entire time, and they wait to the last minute, and then they'll just boom, boom, boom. I'm very rich or legend, or over and over. It's like, oh my god,
Tactics. That's
that's
awesome.
So here's what's happening there from a marketing perspective. We've got the I forgot the exact words, but you got the I can't remember the exact word, but whenever you pull something away, an offer that only exists, scarcity. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you got the scarcity going, you got the timer running, so it's
Yeah.
urgent. So you got the urgency and the scarcity.
Yeah.
And you got the special offer that just can't be attained any other way. So that's what's worked for me. And the whole time I'm just delivering value, answering questions. Even if it's the same questions over and over, I try to answer it in a different way. And at first, when I used to go on lives, it was like answering. I used to get frustrated. I was like, God, do I really want to go on live and answer
I know, like that's
shadow
kind of
ban questions for an hour?
yeah. No, you got a lot of it's just questions, just Q&A, Q&A, Q&A.
Hmm.
I want to ask you though, like I know that this is really big in the YouTube world. I think like the best way to grow is just to collab with
Yes.
people. And I'm in the process. Like we got phone numbers. I got it. I'm in a group chat with 5 other like fitness TikTokers, and two of them have 1 million followers, and a couple of them have maybe 50,000. It's a wide range, but what we're gonna do is because like it's funny, like a lot of them are in college, maybe a little bit younger than me, but this gym that I'm opening, this facility, we're gonna do a in-person meetup, and it's gonna be in November, and we're gonna try to get as many of our followers out there as possible. Like if you were to do that, what do you think my best way is to capitalize on that opportunity? Like it's gonna be cool that people will be there, but how do I make the most of that?
Well, the first thing is like the COVID thing. If hopefully we have a vaccine by then.
That is true.
But you getting 100 people in a gym for a meetup could potentially actually hurt you. I feel like, because if you look at what's happening with Jake Paul with these massive parties and all these guys, they're getting a lot of backlash for that. So
That is true.
maybe consider calling it a hypothetical and a hopeful type of thing.
Yeah, hypothetical, and say we limit it, or maybe we, scarcity. We say there's tickets or something.
Right. Yeah, we can only, due to COVID, we can only have like 10 to 20, 30 people, whatever it is, and just try to find a way to make it, maybe they have to sit in a chair that's 6 foot apart, like the NBA bubble or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would
collab in person with people in your net. That really happened.
I'm open to collabing with people in person. It's just really hard right now. I have had just a couple collabs we did were actually super low effort and worked really, really well, which would be just me going to another influencer in my space and just saying, hey, let's just duet each other. Well, we agreed to duet each other. We're just going to pick a video of each other we know that would vibe with our audience and is really close to our message, and just say, if you like this, go follow them. And I think you'll like what they have to say. So we both did that. And so interestingly enough, I did this with a couple females in my space, and I got a massive influx in female followers from doing that. It's like, oh, interesting.
Why do duets work so well? I don't do it often, but every time I do it, it's always getting more views than my average.
I think there's a couple reasons. Yeah, it probably has a little bit of an algorithm boost to it, like programmatically. But I think when you do a duet, technically it is a collab, even though it's kind of a one-sided collab. But at the same time, the person said when they created the video, anybody can duet this, right? So they're kind of allowing it. So in that way, it's kind of a two-way collab. But here's the thing: anybody can duet a viral video. And even if their side is completely boring and they're just sitting there like this, which most people do, which is a problem, but like even if their side is completely boring or even to blank space, there's still something awesome to look at on that other side. And then the other thing is there's two, instead of just one thing to look at, there's two things to look at. So that's always a reason for somebody to rewatch. So like, oh, I'm gonna watch this side, I'm gonna watch it again to see this side. So
people love reactions. I feel like that's a popular thing.
And some of the most successful channel or accounts right now are people going, and then they'll just go a blank face halfway through when something is like bad or boring. And then there's that other guy who's just like, yeah, oh yeah. And he's got 1 million followers from going, yeah, on viral video. So ridiculous.
Do you ever get worried, like if TikTok just went away? Like, what would you do?
I'm fine. I have a whole business that's outside of TikTok that TikTok has no place in. So TikTok is kind of my side hustle.
I understand, like, what do you do for a living? But like, how does this cultivate into everything for you?
I have an SEO marketing business. SEO is just getting people higher up on Google on the search engine. So I work with about 25 to 27 small to medium sized businesses, just helping them get higher up on Google, which is very important to them because once you're up there, you can potentially get a lot of sales and leads from that.
Yeah.
Cool. And then TikTok, I think TikTok is a little bit more of my passion. I enjoy it more. But at the same time, it's so new and my business isn't quite fleshed out. Like I am selling paid consulting, but I would need to come up with something to really be affordable to the majority of the TikTok audience, but also allow me to deliver it in a very time efficient way. And that's kind of what I'm figuring out. And I think that I can figure it out. And when I do, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be life-changing for me. Not that it already hasn't been, but even more so.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say TikTok's been pretty life-changing for me. I mean, as far as it boosting my online business, and that's why, like, I love TikTok, like not just consuming content, but I really enjoy using it for what it's done for me. I'm curious, like, I don't push it that much just because I don't want that to consume all of my content on TikTok. But how do I get people to go follow my Instagram and go subscribe to my YouTube? Because it's happened, but like, I'm looking at both of my numbers, like 350,000 followers on TikTok, 18,000 on Instagram. To me, doesn't make sense. It's like, why,
So I think one of the cons of TikTok is just that, like, it's really hard to cross-pollinate from TikTok for whatever reason. I think that's not so much the case on YouTube. So just know that going in. Look, a lot of these followers aren't necessarily going to follow you to other social platforms, and that's okay. Because a lot of people, hey, I've got a Twitch. Why doesn't everybody come follow me on my Twitch? My thing is, why not just stream video games to your TikTok? Because I've done that, and I get way more viewers than when I try to get people from my TikTok to my Twitch. And guess what? People are really, really generous on TikTok lives, and they're not so generous on Twitch lives. Like I get way more gifts on TikTok when I'm streaming than I did on Twitch.
Huh.
So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, just embrace the fact that people probably aren't going to leave TikTok, and just ask yourself the question: like, why do we really want people to follow us to these other platforms? Why not just keep it on TikTok? And now, especially now that they're paying money, you can get money two ways. We've got a two-prong monetization platform right there on TikTok itself. So it's like, I think people should be rethinking the main goal of like pushing people to another platform. It's just hard, and it may not be worth the effort.
Now, is the U.S. ban out of the question, or what's this?
No, it's not out of the question, but I see it as highly improbable. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
What sense does that make for the United? It's just the security, concerns? Is that really it?
I don't know. I would like to say yes, but I don't know 100% no.
Thing's created so many jobs and
Right.
in its own. I just cannot see.
It could be a pride thing. Like maybe Trump's like, look, we don't want to admit that like this foreign app surpassed our homegrown apps, and maybe that's part of it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but the CEO of TikTok, isn't he a U.S. citizen, or
The
he's like?
CEO they hired was from Disney Plus, and he is a U.S. citizen. But the CEO of ByteDance, which is the umbrella company, is Chinese. So
Yeah,
that's
that'd be interesting, man. I really hope it doesn't go away.
yeah, it's been a great run, and that's the other thing. Yeah, we should probably be pushing a little bit to push people to other platforms just to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just don't expect much in terms of what 1 to 2% is probably what people should be expecting. Any more than that is probably a bonus. So
Yeah.
cool, man. Well, I'm running out of time for this, unfortunately. So I want to leave you the opportunity. Well, first, do you have any more questions for me or anything like that?
Gosh, man, we really covered everything.
Okay. Cool.
I'll watch your videos if I have any more questions.
Cool. So let's allow you to plug your TikTok, Instagram, whatever else. How can people get in touch with you? Whether they want to watch your content or maybe even get some training from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my TikTok and Instagram is the same. It's at Austin Pace Amp, Austin Pace AMP, and then my YouTube, just type in Austin Pace. And I also have a podcast too on all podcast platforms. It's Amplify Podcast. So
Awesome.
that's how you can reach me.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. Congratulations on all your success. I know all my audience is going to be super kind of come away with this with a ton of new ideas that they can take to the next level. And I can't wait to see where you go from here, man.
Awesome. Real quick, how can I watch this? How do I watch it?
It's going to be on YouTube. My podcast is exclusively on YouTube until I decide to branch out and do things the right way. But for now, YouTube. I'll let you know when it's live, all right?
Can't wait.
All right. See you later, man.
All right, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you.